Hi, I'm Heather, and I welcome you back to Full Steam Ahead. In this program, we do fun activities involving science, technology, engineering, arts, and math. Nicola, how are you today? Oh, have you been playing with Lego? This gives me a good idea. Why don't we do some coding with Lego? For today's activity, I will be using a coding game from the website researchparent.com, which provides educational resources created by a research scientist. You will need printable forms, which are found in the video description. If you don't have a printer, we do offer black and white printing at the library for 20 cents a page, or you can use your own paper and create your own game based on the template design. You will also need a pencil, an eraser, some scissors, a small figure that has a front and a back, and my figure looks quite a bit like my robotic assistant Nicola, and some building blocks like Lego are optional, but they will make the game more fun. So first of all, you'll want to cut out the different elements of the game. And we won't be using all of the word pieces of the game today, but we will be using most of them. You can also cut out one of the mazes in the template, and there are multiple mazes of different difficulty levels. So if you choose to use one, you can cut it out. And for more fun, you can place it onto a board like this Lego board, this gray board, and then build around it with Lego pieces. And also, I took a blue marker and just drew over the lines of the squares in the maze just to make them stand out more. The goal is to create a set of instructions for your figure to navigate through the maze. You must think from the point of reference of your figure, not your own. For example, if your figure is facing you, this is your left hand, but your figure's left hand will be over here. So you must think from the point of reference of your figure as it moves through the maze. We will be using the green cards for now, and you will need to create step-by-step instructions for your figure to move through the maze, and you will create them in a long list, just as I've done here. And as your figure moves through the maze, it may be helpful to flip over a card once your figure has completed it. For example, we'll put our figure at the start of this maze. And first of all, it must go forward 2 places. So we have 2 go forward cards. So we'll move our figure forward 2 places. Now, to continue through the maze, it must turn right. So we move the figure to its right and flip over the card. Now, it must go forward 2 more spaces. So I put 2 go forward cards and I flip them over. And now our figure must turn left. Okay. So I'll flip over the turn left card. Now it must go forward 2 spaces. So I put 2 go forward cards there. I'll flip them over. And now it must turn to its right. So I'll flip over the turn right card. Now it must go forward 3 places. So I'll flip over the 3 go forward cards. Now it must turn left and go forward 2 squares. It must turn left again. And then it must go forward 4 squares. Okay, so I'll flip over 4 the go forward squares. Okay, now it must turn right go forward 1, and it has reached the end. So with these cards, we created a code or a program for our figure to navigate through the maze. It's an onerous task to tell your figure to move forward 7 times in a row by repeating the same card 7 times. It would be helpful to just have a way to say, do this next command 7 times. So now we will discuss the concept of for loops. As you can see, right here I've used the for card, and then with the steps card, I've written in pencil the number 2, because I want my character to move 2 steps. And what direction? I want my figure to go forward. So I've put the cards for 2 steps, go forward, and then I have the end card to indicate that that is the end of that loop. Now I want my figure to turn right, and then for 2 steps, I've written 2 in pencil here, go forward, and then end card to end that loop. Now I want my figure to turn left, and for 2 steps, go forward. 1, 2. And end. Now I want my figure to turn right. And for 3 steps, go forward. 1, 2, 3. End. Now I want my figure to turn left. And for 2 steps, go forward. 1, 2. End. I want my figure to turn left once more, and for 4 steps, go forward. 1, 2, 3, 4. End. Now I want my figure to turn right, and for 1 step, go forward, end. And my figure has reached the end of the maze. If you want to go a little bit further with your coding, you can work with while loops and if statements. With the introduction of while loops and if statements, you can challenge yourself to write as short a program as possible to solve a specific maze. You will need to consider all possibilities at any random location of the maze and decide the best sequence of actions. For example, what should the figure do if there's an opening to its right? So if it's moving through the maze and it wants to go right, you can say, while still in the maze, if there is not a wall to my right, turn right. So here, there is not a wall to the figure's right, so it will turn right. Else, if there is not a wall to my left, turn left. And here, there is not a wall to the figure's left, so it turns left. So that would work for all right turns and left turns. But what if your figure is in a dead end? So else, if there is a wall on all 3 sides, your figure will turn left and then turn left again. So here it turns left and then turns left again. And now it's basically going to go backwards from where it came. And here again, it moves until it stopped, but there isn't a wall on the left side, which we have indicated here. Else, if there's not a wall to my left, turn left. So it will keep moving until there's a wall in front of it, and so on. So the while loop begins with the red card while and ends with the red card end. So basically, all of the code within this loop will keep repeating until the figure is out of the maze. And this particular code may not work for this maze, but you can work with the codes to create one that works for your maze. Have fun with this coding game, and work with it at your own particular skill level. It might be fun to create a code for your maze and then ask a friend or family member to navigate through the maze based on your code. As always, be safe, and I'll see you again next week for Full Steam Ahead.